All right, here we are. Excuse me. Kirihiko has resubbed for 46 months in a row. That's crazy how fast that time has passed. Why do I hear myself? 1 second, folks. There we go. That was a weird echo. All right. Happy Sunday, folks. I still hear an echo, which is not good. Maybe I just won't talk too much today. All right. Yes, this is Patrick. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Do you guys hear a slight echo, or is that just me? Oh, you know what? I just turned down my volume. There we go. Perfect. No echo. I just won't hear the alerts, which is fine. Let's recent events. What do we got going on? Why, he has resubbed. Will you be teaching us your six-pack ways today? You know, it's just shadows and underlighting. That's 90% of that. Golf Boy Sunday, Jedi B311, Crispy Egg Roll, Canalith, Queen City Amusements, Crocodilatran, PJ Bicer, Daniel J. Bosco, Punker 13, Pandemus, Superhero Soma Art. A lot of the regulars resubbing this moment. Jorge 4277, Kirihiko, I mentioned before, Maverick, and Paper Falcon 4. That was a month ago. So, wow, it's been a month since I streamed. Pretty bad. Anyway, Kirihiko is our mod prime. She's the original mod. She is handling modding duties from Switzerland, where it is, 6 p.m. at night. We also have Crispy Egg Roll I saw. I don't know if PK is here, but there we go. Let's big shot. So someone wanted the camera to be more straight on. The only problem is the more straight on it is, the more my head will get in the way. Maybe, hold on 1 second. Let me, all right, I'm going to try one more thing. Hold on a second. Let me just switch. All right. Let's see if that looks any better. Animals turned, sorry, DMS Design, Holy Arts and Crafts Batman. Logan Howlett 1. How you doing, Logan Howlett 1? Good to see you. Hope to see you soon. Lunch on me. The Floosh 420. Janella IA Manuel. Emperor Elric. Have all subs as well as Steel Gun. Many months. A lot of these 40 plus, a lot in their 20s. Longtime supporters of the stream. Welcome back. Good to see you guys. This turned off, which no good. All right. Okay. Let's start. I've got a sketch in mind. Rather than do it just purely from imagination, well, I did the sketch in advance. This is kind of like what I'm trying to get at, right? It's hard to see, but it's like a helmet with like a reflection on it. That's all you need to know. So it's Future State Batman, Tim Fox Batman. This is sketch 59 to 60. I'm going to do it on stream here. So it is, I thought what I would do is a combination, like a lot of the sketches I did were just giant headshots, which were a lot of fun, a lot of textures and things like that. So I'm wondering if I do something like this, and this will cast a shadow here, right? Okay. And then you put the hand right here. Sorry, off panel. A little blown out. Let me just turn that light down a little bit. Okay, you can see that better. Okay. Right. And then this helmet is essentially the Batman cowl, but with the face, the mouth part covered. All right, so I'm wondering what happens if we show Tim Fox kind of suiting up, and then the hand is super weirdly kind of foreshortened as only things that are reflected in objects can be. And I did it as a sketch before, I just want to make sure that a sort of proof of concept, whether it can be done. And I showed that like sort of preliminarily it can. So there will be some distortion. The question is like, how much do I want to distort this? The more I distort, the more reflective it looks, but then less cool it looks. Like no one wants a super distorted Batman, right? So the distortion usually happens around the edges of the canvas as it rotates away from us, but the flat-ish areas that are parallel to the object are going to be reflected fairly one-to-one, meaning pretty faithfully. The distortion really happens, again, like I said, as you curve away from that center. And so let's go ahead and put some distortion in to really kind of sell that this is a reflection, right? All right. So between us, what I like about this idea is that it's essentially a big object I'm drawing, super easy, especially when it's Batman's cowl, which I've drawn a lot. I also like it because it's creatively different from the other sketches. Like doing a reflection is, it's fun. I do it every now and then in stories, but it's pretty rare. Okay. And someone's saying it still looks blown out. Not so on my screen. It looks fine. Unless others feel. Okay, great. Pandema says it's okay. Then it's okay with me. All right. Excuse me. Honey Mustard has resub for 5 months. He likes the Superman Unchained. Wolfie Pooh, Wolfie Pooh has resub for 37 months. Grand Admiral Bertus, good to see you again. Happy Sunday. Getting ready for a CGC signing. Getting a Brainiac remark to go with the Lex Luthor you did. Thank you in advance. Awesome. Doom Reaver has resubbed. Superhero Summer Art has cheered. Looking nice and golden tan. Yes, I actually did a very sensible approach. I'll share my tanning secrets with you guys. I know that's why you were really here for the stream. LB Buddha 19 finally gets to see one live. Jorge G 4277 and Janella have cheered. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. So now, where the question I had was, where does this helmet sit? Ona Patel, how long until your next project announcement? I think you're looking at it. Sketches. Buddhafinger 1974. Thanks for the great streams. Trevor Kai. Good to see you again. It's been a while. All right. Let's see. All right. Get that. Because maybe I put the other Batman, Bruce Wayne, over here. All right. And the reason why it's the size is I got to be able to show this hand here in the foreground to sell this. Okay. Maybe Batarang. Okay. What happens if I put a bunch of rope? Grappling hook. It's just like it's a table of stuff. Now this feels like it's like his chess costume. I want to sell that it's Batarangs, so change the direction. So there's. You know what? Maybe I won't put the utility belt on him because that's a very recognizable golden object, even for this costume. This costume looks pretty much like the Batman costume with some minor variants. I'm not going to draw in perspective. I'm drawing it from the top down, which will not help us. I don't know. How does that look? Nah. Let's keep the belt on him. Okay. And I think what it was is that bat thing was a little large, and so it read like as the chest logo. Let's see what happens if I repeat the item. Oh, I know what I could put over here too. Is the gauntlets. What happens if I do that? Oh. Rather than having two hands parallel, let's try this. What happens if I do them facing different directions? then this would have to be a bare hand. Put fingernails in there so we see it's a bare hand. Okay. A little dark. Okay. Alright, that's what I'm selling. Okay. Now, someone said, is this the Red Hood? No, it is Future State Batman. I realize that the Bat Cowl helmet is not super shiny, but for the purposes of this, it is artistic license. Okay, here's a 03 marker. Let's start with the helmet itself. This marker is kind of dead. Let's get some other markers. Let's see what we got over here. Got 1s, 3. Here's another 3. I'll try this one out. Let's put some eyes on. Let's clean the eyes. Yeah, okay. All right, let's do this. This 3 marker is pretty dead as well, but not quite as dead, so I'll save it. I think I need some new markers. I bought a bunch, and here's another 3. I bought a box of 3s. I think they're all like dead. Just don't know how long they've been sitting in some warehouse. There we go. I'm going to blow it out a little bit so it looks nicer once the black lines are put in. I should, right, in shadow, it looks all right. Let me just divert this just a little bit. There we go. You know, it's funny that Batman's cowl, like, there's certain things you have to kind of accept in comics. One is that capes won't get, like, caught up and trip people. Someone will step on the cape. Batman, like, you know, stumbles in a melee, in a fist fight. But the other is, like, the Bat helmet. It's got slots, open slots for the eyes, but when you put them on in the movies, black mascara appears. Usually you don't see that transition, but one of those earlier movies where it was like Bruce Wayne, and then he's got regular no makeup, and then he puts the cowl on and close in on his eyes, and you see like somehow mascara is just showing up. But maybe that's part of the cowl. Like there's like tiny little filters like that spray out, and or maybe Batman's invented a hidden sort of invisible ink mascara that he applies around his eyes during normal light. It looks transparent, not noticeable, but when you put the cowl on, there's slight, UV or a certain light frequency that's emitted, and it makes it dark. That is way overthinking all of this. Malarkey, Reeves Batman tackles this in the trailer. Correct. I'm speaking about an older Batman movie. I can't remember which one it was. Okay. You guys are still with me. Following what I'm doing. Hopefully this makes sense. And then it's interesting, like is Batman's cowl, is it fabric where you slide it on like a sock or a hoodie or a beanie? Or is it a helmet that you slide on top of your head like a football helmet? And I've drawn it both ways. Again, depending on the situation, if I needed to like pull over his face and hang off his back, because if it's a helmet and he takes off this mask, he's always got to carry that helmet around with him, and so it kind of demobilizes. It limits the use of his hands, right? And then he's always got to put the object somewhere. If he's gestures, it's more dramatic if he just kind of pulls the cowl over his face. It hangs off the back of his cape, and now he's got access to his hands and he can put the costume on very quickly at any time. PJ Beiser, thank you very much for the bits. Shout out to Discord, Twitch subs. It's been a pleasure to chat with. Yeah, I have to say, the Discord channel, if you guys don't know about it, I think one of the mods will pop it into chat, but it's a great way to sort of connect the community that tunes in live here with the folks that are into comic art, who actually may even just follow the stream like on YouTube, right, in the rerun. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this. Let's move it over here. And what I also liked, I was reviewing some of the sketches. What I like about some of the charity sketches is that there is a vibrancy and kind of a looseness and roughness in the inks that I want to capture again, like my sort of professional tendency is to kind of clinch and make the ink super tight and clean, and want to restore some of that immediacy and energy that I had in those early days of lockdown. So let's put the last finger right here. All right, so it's a little on the rougher side, and all right, drop in some of the fingernails, and then that one. It's a whole structural thing that happens with fingernails. Let's clear that. That's kind of a bad tangent, but I'll just leave it at that. And I think this costume has kind of a segmented armor on the back of the neck, if I recall. So let's go ahead and make it look like two of these are on the actual cowl itself. I don't know about these Batarangs. They're going in a weird direction. They should be going this way, if at all. So yeah, let's fix that. You know what I need? I need an 8. An 8 marker would be awesome. Nope. Nope. Oh boy. Oh, here's an 8. An 8 allows you to do very kind of large things very quickly. So let's reposition these Batarangs. Okay. This line is the perspective line, if you haven't figured it out. Okay. And then the rope goes over that. Here's another perspective line. And then the back. Okay. Here's the gauntlet, the glove, the gauntlet. Okay. And the perspective lines are still like that and like this. Okay. All right. Let's use the 0.8 and do the gauntlet. I need to look at and see what. Oh, you know what? Let's do something else instead. Hold on. Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's turn that back on. Here we are. Okay. Right. So here's my reference. This is the cover. It's weird, you know. In the cover, he always looked a little thick over, like, in the haunches. But the original, it looks okay. It's a strange thing. A strange thing. Okay. The gauntlets. Okay. Let's use this as the reference, that glove. Pretty standard kind of modular design. Okay. Okay. And then the other. Oops. Did I just draw on that? I did. Oops. Gotta fix it. Sorry, Scott. But look, I see a little white out right here. See that little bit right there? Oh, okay, let that dry. Let's fix this other blob over here too. Okay, let that dry over there. Stop that tomfoolery. Tomfoolery. Okay. Okay. Got some wrinkles there. Okay. Got the bat rope here. It's tricky. I'll hold my breath for that. Okay. Scott's watching it. Yeah, he's probably like, "Oh, what the hell?" So this thing will be in front of the helmet, so I'm gonna have to white out this little part here. This is the grappling hook. So let's draw that in there. This is, folks, this is what you do if you are inking your own work and you don't want to do full pencils. I rarely do full pencils if I'm making my own stuff. Do enough of the structural work, and then once I have that, I just move on to inks. Okay, now the trick is to repeat this. This is all going to be black, black on black, so it just has to approximate looking kind of the same. I hope. We'll see what happens. Okay. So I'm looking at the last one I did and applying kind of. I'll fix that. Okay. And then let's put some grid lines so that makes it look like there's some sort of table or something that these things are on. And then probably need some sort of okay. And let's do that. Maybe like the gloves fit into some sort of illuminated sort of holding, like the glove fits into a template that's illuminated on the edges. So this might be reflected in kind of like this hot blue light, or warm, yeah, hot blue, something like that. So here's what I got. Okay. What do we got going on? Good Horatio, is that the person? Let me see what. Batman 89 fan. Already sub, thank you very much. Oni no Hanzo has cheered. Thank you very much. What the fan art? 7 months in Jim's class. How have I not failed already? Watstorm CCG, Watstorm Forever. Thank you for resubbing. Appreciate it. Tooth. Nearly 4 years. How time flies. Yeah, man. I'll tell you. The skip between like 2 and 4 years is like dramatic. The first year like felt like a long time, but I was streaming a lot more, so there was more going into it. Jeff UTV, KB Bradshaw, 40 months already. Thank you for subbing. Celebrate by telling me your favorite dad joke. So I make no distinction between regular jokes and dad jokes. They're all jokes. So I think anything I say that's cringingly, that's not a word, but cringingly funny, that would be a dad joke. All right. Chuck Arnold, 3000, has resubbed, and Double Cheeseburger has cheered. Will you be at New York Comic Con this year? I doubt it. SMC Cardi 313, happy Sunday, everyone. Okay. I think I'm caught up. Let's see what's doing. There's a lot of I've met a lot of you in person, and some of the common refrains I hear is like, "Oh, it's really fun to do. Like watching your stream live. It's on Sunday. It's family day or family time, and I watch with my kids, or I let my kids watch it on, and I stream it to the TV." And so, yeah, I like the fact that there are sort of the next generation of creatives watching in real time and hopefully finding some inspiration. So yeah, hi Ava, how are you? Thank you for tuning and watching me stream this morning. Papi Fuerte. Yeah, can you imagine if I was a kid, I could watch like Frank Miller or John Byrne or George Perez like stream. Like, I would never leave. I would never leave my PC. Yes, BJ Beister. Cat watches with you. Well, if the cat's drawing, that's okay. Mac Maharlika. Hallo Jim. Ich hoffe, du hattest eine gute Zeit mit deiner Familie in Mexico. I hope that you had a good time with your family in Mexico. Very basic German, understood 100%. Ja, ich habe eine ausgezeichnete, ich habe ein ausgezeichnetes Erlebnis gehabt. I hope that's right. Jawohl. Okay. Yeah, DMS Design. Thanks for the bits. We had an amazing time. I'll talk about the family reunion trip in a little bit. Some of the kids put more images up. I wanted to obviously strike the balance between celebrating our family and celebrating, being able to get together again, but balance that against all the cool stuff we were doing. I didn't want to seem like we were, trying to be showy, or it's just it's a fine balance between, I think, kind of sharing and showing off, and I think that's, for me, that's the challenge of social media. I know everyone has sort of different slider settings for what they feel is appropriate, but I wanted to convey like the love and spirit of the moment and how awesome it was, but then also getting to do some fun stuff, and it was kind of a summer camp for our kids anyway. So yeah, crispy egg roll. Yeah, it was very sweet. It's the first time, I mean, we've had 8 of the 9 kids here and there, but it's maybe every 2 or 3 years at this point we get all 9 of the kids, right? So. Book and Red 1442. Are you going to the Suicide Squad premiere? Is there a Suicide Squad premiere? I know there's little things here and there, but I don't know if it's going to be the same kind of thing. But things are more open up. Okay. Witch Doctor Art. You have a 3-year-old watching. Awesome. Voodoo Magic 5. Scuba diving was good. I mean, we went with a bunch of my kids. They're not certified. So if you're not certified, you can only go to 30 feet. And so they take you to like the basic thing that they take anyone. But Cabo is an amazing place to dive, I am told. That was my first time diving there. And you can go see like hammerhead sharks in other bays. There's a national conservatory underwater park, which is north of Cabo, a couple hours, which is supposed to be amazing. So really, if there was someone else that was certified, I've sort of dove by myself. It's less fun to me than diving with people, So, but I'm in no rush. If that happens, great. If it doesn't happen, no biggie. I'm there to really spend time with my family, and it's less about like, oh, we got to do this and we got to do that. But it was all awesome. The only thing that wasn't so awesome was like DC fishing. We went out. It was very stormy. The waves were big. People were puking. People were seasick, and we only caught like 4 fish, and nothing too large. So that was kind of a bust, and very 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 choppy waters. I just not good. All right. What's the deepest you've gone? 165 feet down. That's pretty. Yeah, I think I've gone like 120 or 130 back in the day. But it doesn't really. I didn't feel like 120 was different from 60. Once you get to a certain depth, and you can't really sense how far you are from the surface. You could be at 300. The amount of light is reduced, and you see Spinichi used to be a commercial diver. So I've gone down like a sea cliff wall, like along a wall. So it's like one of these things where it goes like this and then goes straight down. And but I like seeing fish, and you see more fish along coral reefs, which are at shallower depths. So I've scuba dived in Bora Bora, and where else? Hawaii, the Caribbean. Pennsylvania, a lake off the shores of La Jolla, and the Great Barrier Reef, Cairn, town north of Sydney. Yeah, so I'm not like a big fan of sharks, so but I think I'd do it at this point. Before I was just really kind of had like a weird phobia of sharks, but as I got older, like, definitely in a shark cage, I would do it. I feel like it's like those tiger trainers you see, like every now and then the tigers freak out and just maul them. The trick is to keep them well fed, but they are wild beasts, so you gotta be careful. So I'm doing the reflection now, and get more of the distortion on the edges. All right, let's take this thing back here, fix this. As Germans like to say, gut genug. All right. Exactly. Mentionskinder. Princess Premi. Do any of my kids show an interest in drawing? Yeah, they all draw. I don't not some kind of semi. One's a painter. But in terms of drawing comic book art, I think they were into manga, but less interested in Western superheroes. All right, let's go ahead and do this bat symbol. Okay. Cougar Blitz. Kluger. Excuse me. Kluger Blitz. Kluger Blitz. Kluger Blitz. Clever Lightning. How do I know the reflection is correct? I look at it, and if it looks correct, it must be correct. I look at it. If it looks off, it's hard to handle that. Brohawk 2K. Yes, I have 9 kids. Blended family. My wife had 4 kids. I had 3. And then we had 2 together. So they ranged from 7 years old, the youngest, to 28, soon to be 29 for the oldest. It's quite a spread. Vezin Venom. Have you ever done a shipwreck dive? I've done a night dive, and I did the dive I did off Oahu was like it wasn't a destroyer. It was some sort of I don't know, some Navy vessel that was purposely sunk in the water, probably like used for target practice. And we went down and dove through the ship, the remains of the ship. JVic08, thank you for the bits. What do you enjoy more, jet skis or horseback riding? If you can run the horses, that is a lot of fun. I'm not so much, taking a nature walk on a horse. I feel like poor horse. I can make this walk on my own, right? And but if you're allowed to gallop them, certainly along the beach, it's pretty fantastic. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, Naomi Full, thank you for the raid. Naomi Full, raiding with a party of 127. Very cool. How do I? Sorry, I'm like behind the chat here. This is Jace Fox, yes. Aquanini. Yeah, Naomi Full, thank you very much for the. There we go. There you go. My connection is slow. There we go. Purchase successful. Autumn Shades. I was in Cottage Club A what the fan art? Have I ever done an orbital halo dive? Yeah, just last week. Drove high altitude, low open. Yes, of course. Went from the parachute right into the water and dove. Yes, I did. No. Brohawk 2K. Yeah, I know, Dave. David. I think that was your AOL handle. Good to see you again. Longtime artist David Williams, who I knew from the Bay Area. Trevor Kai. Diving, yeah, you can go to any place that is near water and dive to 30 feet um, without a certification. Naomi Full. Thank you very much. I hope you had a great stream as well. Superhero Summer Art. What's AOL? It is the company. I don't even know how to describe it. It was the internet for many people. I know you're just joking, but it's also. Stage NY. Thank you for the sub and the stream support. Appreciate it. Mathematic 80. Where's the setup pick? So this was the drawing I used to kind of as a concept. I just wanted to make sure it would work. Anyway, so all right, so now I've got Jace Fox, Tim Fox, Batman there, and then this is going to be Bruce Wayne, Batman. So I got to just pull up some reference here. Future state, Bruce Wayne, Batman. Let's see what pops up. It's a guy in a trench coat, I hope. Actually, yeah, no. Actually, that was an earlier iteration, I think that. Okay. Have you guys been able to get out? And I know it's weird. Like we left for Cabo, I think the 12th, and then things opened up more fully on the 15th, and so people still wearing masks, but it's less so. And definitely people are inside restaurants and things like that. So. No, I mean, I'm going to have to check out your work when I have a moment after this. I followed you, so check it out. See you later. Quick draw 13. I know it's super late over in Australia. Have a good night. Wallstrom CCG. I go out to the grocery store and the title company to sign on selling our house. That's about it. Naomi's spirit left her body. What does that mean? I don't know. Plek you. It's 2 a.m. here. Woke up just for you, Jim. Wow. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Where is it? 2 a.m. in the morning. Ooh, New Zealand, Japan, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crispy egg roll. This piece is the penultimate piece in Jim's 60 sketches for charity. Yes, the penultimate means the second to last. For those of you who didn't go to a fancy college like Crispy, Korea's 3 a.m. So what would be 2 a.m.? It would be one more over. I don't know, like Tahiti, Hawaii. I don't know. No, not Hawaii. Anyway, okay. Malaysia, got it. Manila, 2 a.m. in Manila. I know it was somewhere west of, east of Japan. Crispy egg roll. I'm educating the masses. Yes, 100%. Okay, so the bulk of this is done. Almost done. Can't say that. I have an hour. Okay. Let's do the face. I got a thinner marker so I can add more detail. And it's a distorted face, so that's always kind of fun, right? And then it's an upshot that's distorted. Oh, let's see what I'm doing here. Chilo 44. I will not be going to Madrid Comic Con. I'm going to like Torpedo Comic Con, which is next month in LA. And I think there's one other con, but it's here in the U.S. I think international cons next year. Things aren't fully opened up in terms of travel. There's the Delta variant. I mean, there's just still things going on in the world, so it's a little premature to. We did a lot of research. We didn't want to go somewhere too far that required a long plane ride. The plane trip down to Cowl was the first trip I've done since February of 2020, and that was weird because I used to fly once or twice a month, probably twice a month for work and conventions, and so yeah, I didn't want to go too far, but we want to go somewhere warm. A lot of fun water activities to be had. Again, Hawaii was a little further in terms of 6 hours, so that was too much. And then I don't even know, the COVID restrictions were different for every island there. I've been kind of following it for a while and just kind of lost track, and I don't know where. I think if you had a negative test, you're okay to just go and do your own thing. But Cabo won out, and the people at the hotel were just amazing and so accommodating and nice, and we had a great time. Definitely in withdrawal. I still think about it. You get used to it. I gain weight just eating desserts, but also eating real healthy, great fish, fresh fish, and fruit, just amazing fruit. This pre-cut up in a plastic kind of. So I'm kind of purposely scribbling to keep it loose. Like I said, I want to keep that energy there. And make it look like a reflection. So it's going to be a shiny helmet, but not like silver metallic shiny. I think it's going to have, for example, kind of battle lines and scratches. And so it's going to have a texture and tooth to it. Um, if I were doing this in Photoshop, I would take kind of liquefy and kind of mess with it, tweak it a little bit more. I will do the 2D analog version at the end. If I don't think it looks distorted enough, I can take white out and kind of run it and then just bend the lines a bit. Okay. Daniel J. Bosco. Yeah, Sketch 60 is already predetermined. It was the winner of a sketch long ago when I kind of seized the reins of the direction for a bit. I didn't want to deny anyone, so I always knew like people, the buyers would get to dictate the choices up till like number 56, 57, something like that. So the last one was determined a while ago. I think you guys will be pleased with the choice. It's something that I've personally been involved in, worked on. So I think it'll be a good crowd pleaser, and that'll be probably next week's stream. All right. So you'll see like some of the structural stuff I've drawn becomes sort of nonsensical when it gets distorted. So not everything has to look like something per se. It has to serve this purpose of creating texture and shape and volume. Hopefully those words mean something to you. Like sometimes people go like, okay, but they don't necessarily know what I mean by that. Volume is the feeling like it has three-dimensionality. I guess shape refers to the same thing. Texture is the surface. You know, is it metal? Is it Kevlar? Is it carbon fiber? Is it cloth? Is it rubber? Is it ceramic? You should have solutions for all those textures through black and white line work. So I'm going to work on the helmet a little bit. It's a closed mouth design. Maybe I should grab the brush at this point and do some dry brush effects. Okay. Trevor Cott, yes. Semi-reflective Batonium, for sure. Batmanium. DS Portraits told my son to use your Goku drawing as a reference to draw me a DBZ character awaiting results. Nova Primex has subbed for 24 months. Happy birthday, Mr. Lee. It's not my birthday, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. Nova Primex, have you ever thought about becoming an actor? I do not have a SAD card. I had a couple of lines of dialogue in a TV show once called Bob Newhart, the comedian. And I had such a stressful time doing it. I realized this is not my skill set. This is not even a set. It's not. It's um, and so I foregone. I passed on the opportunity of getting my SAG card because you can get a SAG card if you actually have dialogue in a production. I knew I would never act again, and so I've been asked to do other shows, not necessarily even superhero shows, but people I know asked me to be on productions, and I've passed. I said, look, you don't want me coming on and ruining your show. You know, we're gonna go through all this effort, and then you're gonna look at the results and go like, oh, we can't use this. See you later, Crispy. Got lunch with your parents. Awesome. Good seeing you again. Take care. Say hi to your folks for me. I have done some voices for games like DC Universe, some robots in there, in the X-Men cartoon. I told the story before, but I'm a voice of a Sentinel, heavily, synthesized, modulated. So I don't think you could tell it's me. But that was unpaid. They were both unpaid, just for fun. Just the way I like it. Everything should be fun. Yeah? Yes. Okay. All right, let's do some dry brush. To do dry brush, we need a brush, and we need some ink. Where's my ink? Wo bist du, mein Schatz? What the fan art? Yeah, I think there's gosh, I should know this, but I think it's one of the one of the set raids. You come up closer, and there are these robots, or they're defensive towers that are protecting an area, and they speak. And so I was the voice of one of those. I wish I remember more details, but I've never even listened to it. Like, I've never even. Who knows if I'm actually an X-Men cartoon? I don't know if I've ever found and searched for it. I assume that they just used it and did it, but who knows? Maybe it's so bad they passed. Okay, the ink seems to be. It's in my backpack, my travel backpack that I took with me to Cabo. But let me see if I don't have to go all the way there. All right, I see a bottle ink over here. All right, let's see. Take this, put it in here. So the thing with shiny objects is that usually there's a core sort of dark or black shape here along the edges. This represents the light will basically bounce off the edges of shiny round objects. So these dark cores over here are actually reflections of objects on the side that are heavily distorted that look like black shapes. But they're actually, if this was the Bat Cave, this would be like a Bat computer. So you can, what would that look like if it was all scrunched up like that? And if this is the Bat Cave walls, how would stalactites look? Maybe something like that. Okay, cannot see the top. Thank you for the. Okay. Brohawk 2K, why haven't you gone all digital like a lot of artists of late? I'm definitely in the old dog camp. I did digital art. I did this. I do Photoshop using my Cintiq. I was taking this picture. I'll share it with you guys because I'm so proud of it. It's a weird thing to share on social, but okay, so check this out. Hold on. There's some stuff on this phone I cannot show. Not what you think, but just things from productions. Okay, let's go. Hold on. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see this. So it's like a family photo at a dinner, right? So one of our sons is kind of further away from the others. It's a group picture. We're all like over here. He's over here, which is fine. You can stand wherever. But for the interest of composition, I was like, all right, how can I move him over? And for those of you who've done this, you think, oh, it's not too hard. Just clone it or move it over. But it's not so easily said because you're going to lose this big chunk of the background. This leg can go here. This leg goes over here. You got all this mass over here. You've got this edge up here that comes down. Like, how do I do that with? And the thing is, these are gradated surfaces. The light is darker and then gets lighter down here. There's bounce lighting. There's reflective lighting coming from this light underneath here. You have these tiles, which actually, are very regular. But then over here, and I didn't Photoshop this at all. It gets a little crazy what's going on. That actually looks like a poor Photoshop clone kind of thing going on. So I had a little wiggle room, and then obviously if you move them over, you're gonna have to complete the rest of this, right? So so here's the let me see if I can find. So here's the sort of transition, right? So I did an overlay so you can see where the old figure was and where the new figure went. And so I basically redrew all this back here using Photoshop, but it was actually more like painting, that was the fun thing of it all. And so this is the final. All right. So this tile work, it actually doesn't match up here if you look at it too carefully, but so all this is done by hand. I actually went in and kind of modeled it and then added a little noise. That was the thing that really sealed it. This is fake light over here, but you can see kind of this moon pattern that I put, and that was all kind of painted. A lot of pointillism. You can see the noise, I think, here, right, when you get close up. But if you pull back, it actually helps kind of darken it and creates that texture so it fits in. This was just sort of cloned from there. That could probably be cleaned up because it looks a little too repetitive there. But I'm proud of this, right? That's all fake. That light transition here and here, and then the tile work. This is all new here, and you can tell. If you can zoom in, you can see how thin it gets right here. That's right. That's fake as well. All that it was hand done. This is all hand done in here. So it was fun. It was kind of like painting and patchwork, stuff like that. So that's what I use digital for, David. In terms of drawing, I like the immediate. You know what it is? I know if as crazy as it is, taking a brush and just running it along paper, I know 90% kind of what I'm going to get. And if I do it digitally, I have to convert that technique into something. And I have tried inking digitally. The problem is I'll zoom in really close and just put all this finesse and fine work, and then when you zoom back out, you lose all that. It doesn't work. It closes up. It doesn't look right. So there's stuff that happens digitally that kind of works against the art, I think, because you have the ability to zoom in and work at scales that you would not be able to do in real life. And then what happens is when you pull back and you print it, it closes up and you lose all the details. So you kind of need to know at what scale you're working for the appropriate lines to be created. And I'm sure with practice and repetition, that's not an issue. And I've seen pencil brushes or brushes, digital brushes that look almost like real brushes. But again, I don't know if it saves me any time. I also don't like the idea that I can only draw if I'm near my Cintiq. You know, the last day I was kind of inspired in Cabo, and I decided to do some parting gifts for the woman that was really our liaison with the hotel, and just got some markers and a brush and paper and jammed out sort of 2 sketches in an hour or so in the morning. And I kind of like to retain that ability. Teaser FN. I am in a Lego game. I don't think I have dialogue. I'm in the Scribblenauts game, and I have dialogue. I remember recording that. But again, I've not seen it. If I do interviews or documentaries, I generally don't watch those. So, and the reason why is, tend to be, like most people, like overly critical of one's how one sounds, the words one says, and at that point, it's done. I can't change it. So you're just beating yourself up for nothing. So it's just better to live in blissful ignorance. Now the question is, should those be black or should we see through it? I think black is the way to go because everything else is going to be texturized and have reflections. I could have done like something where you see like the interior maybe I'll still keep it like that for now. Process 2 games. How do you learn perspective? I think I learned how most people learn it. I learned the sort of the mathematical or geometric underpinnings of it, right? How does perspective work? 1-point perspective, 2-point, 3-point. You can find all that information online. So I encourage you to do that. And then I would draw out perspective grids. I would do vanishing points. I'd get these super long rulers. I'd mark them out. I'd make these grids, blah, 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 blah. And then I got to a point where that was very time consuming. And, sometimes when you follow the rules, it looks a little sterile, a little too by the numbers. And I realized, I can start eyeballing this. You start developing an eye for perspective. And so I would say a lot of times I kind of fake it. I mean, obviously, I drew a line that I thought was correct, and then all the other lines were based on that initial line. Maybe there's a couple screens here on the wall. Now this is the dry brush. Like, I have to really kind of press down to get ink out of this brush, but it's nice because I can get grays in while I'm working black and white medium. Either black or white. Dry brush allows me to approximate create grays, which is nice. Emmanuel, what about foreshortening? How do I learn that? again, it's just practice. That's even harder to do than perspective, because I don't think there's really necessarily a mathematical component to it. But look at people like Neil Adams, Jack Kirby, masters of foreshortening, and try to replicate what they've done and use that as sort of a guiding light. Right. Ben Sketching said math is in everything, and then Proper Artist says it's all practice. There you go. Those two lines sum up the entirety of my stream. Patton's Page. Been following your work and career since Wildstorm days, and now at 78. Still love your work and art stream. Finally, someone in the stream that's older than me. Awesome. Look, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Good to know. Hey, Link One, welcome in the stream. That's great. I love it. And I mean that in the most positive way. Being a good Korean, very respectful of my elders. Superhero Swimmer. Baha, you guys can share old jokes. Hey, we're the ones that created the world you live in now. Be thankful. Mudfrost. Older here too. It's okay. You guys can come out. It's alright to be older. Not so bad. Although, I think I was at my peak powers at 45 to 50. Those are the best years. People talk about 30. Yeah, when you're 30, you're still too crazy in the head. By the time you get to 40, 50, you get more reflective, more thoughtful, I feel, and contemplative. It balances out sort of the craziness of youth. Prawn Legacy. Ciao, Jim. Always nice to watch your streaming sessions. Thank you. Patton's Page. Still collecting and trying to draw. Sad or what? Nah, no. I'm going to be drawing until my end days. So, trying to get better. Hopefully learn how to paint or get better at it. And so there's a lot of things I want to do. So I'm putting in black shapes here because it approximates the cape, but it also helps establish the three-dimensionality of this helmet. All right, so there's a core shadow here. There's also a core shadow here where the front turns into the side, and that's where you're going to see a lot of shadows. So I want to kind of place as many black shadows right there. Maybe also right here. I'm doing this without glasses on, so it all looks good. When I put the glasses on, I go, whoa. So I use my bad vision, my limited vision, for a positive thing, because this prevents me from sort of getting too caught up in the fine detail work, because I'll see that it's not, it's off, and I don't mind seeing that it's off. I just don't want to see it now. Sort of a way of taking a disadvantage and making it an advantage, right? Sure. Yeah, Artist Secret, draw without glasses. Your work will look better, Trevor. It's true. Patton's Page. I don't know if you have issues with your vision, but as you get older, you get farsighted, so it's hard to see things closer up. So it's always funny. I draw something, I put the glasses on, and go like, "Whoa!" Much scratchier than it looks without the glasses. Superhero Somewhere. Honest question: do you feel young even when someone my age sees you like I'm Jeezy's kind of old? No, I'm not under the illusion that that I look young at all. Like, you know, we took a bunch of pictures in Cabo. But it's a weird thing, Clayton, and those in their 40s and 50s will understand this best. But there is obviously a point where you're young, your skin is taut, and your proportions are adolescent. Then you become a man or an adult, depending on your gender, and and you look consistent for a long time, or you think you look consistent for a long time, and then boom, things look really different, and you're old. And you just go like, whoa, how did that creep up on me? And the thing is, like, you're seeing yourself on a daily basis, so you don't notice the extra wrinkles and the sagging flesh and the changes until it's so cumulative, or there's a photo. You go like, whoa, who is this old person in the photo who looks like my father? That's me. And I remember reading that years ago, and that's 100% the truth. Chuck Arnold 3000. Where did that gray come from? Yeah, there's so much now at this point, right? So, but I'm not so worried about how I look. I mean, it's not like that was ever a thing in my life anyway. And so it's, to me, it's more like, all right, what can I still do? What can I do better at this age than I could at a younger age? How do I, again, lean into the things that are happening to me? Like, if I can't see without these glasses, is there some benefit to that? It's the Jim Lee ARP stream, AARP. But if you're asking me, Clayton, do I feel like, I know I look old. I've seen it. It's interesting, for sure. But do I feel old? Yes. When I wake up and I feel sore, like I ran a marathon in the middle of the night, I go like, what happened? It's very different. But I don't think it's something that I dwell on. It's not something I even think about until you see a photo. I look at older pieces of art and go like, oh, that looks good. Or that looks really not so great. And there's a lot of that. So I do feel like hopefully there's been some improvement. Right, the wisdom. I want to capture that in the work I do. I'm not here to replicate what I did 20 years ago. It's an evolution of what I've done. Spencer, new 52. I think this year has aged all of us, for sure, 100%. I agree. And I'll tell you, like, before I went on this vacation, I was like, I don't know if I can do another lockdown. If that were to ever happen, I think I've had it. Like, this is it. And but now, having had that time, I feel like, okay, I've renewed my cells with energy. I'm ready for whatever challenges may come. So it was very, very useful in that regard. Okay. Peyton's page. Sorry. Peyton's page. What is being drawn here? It is Batman's cowl. Cowl. And we want it to look three-dimensional, so we're going to put a shadow. I'm also worried that this is going to get lost with all this other stuff that's going around. So I feel like I need to put a lot more black, solid blacks all the way around this to make this pop out and the hand to pop out as well. Right, so even as I put the shadow in, I'm like going, I think it should all look black, right? So, but I'm thinking, one of the hallmarks of these black and white sketches is a lot of intricate, very fine brush line work. So I'm going to try that actually, because I can always go darker. It's hard to go from a black to like a very detailed dark gray with lots of noodling, cross-hatching. But I can go noodle, cross-hatch. If it doesn't look good, I can always black it out. And none would be the wiser. So here I'm going to do a proof of concept. Here's what I'm thinking. Like this surface is going to look like this. So 0.03. And it's just a series of lines at different angles. Okay. You gotta be careful not to run the marker through the wet ink, because it will coat the tip and effectively kill your nib. Once the ink dries, then it'll seal that tip and you'll get no more ink out of the cartridge. All right. So you see how that's going? Peyton's page. Sorry to have started the age thing. No, not at all. Don't know. Like I said, I think it's a good thing. We should acknowledge the physical changes in our bodies and our lives with grace, dignity, thoughtfulness, and utilize it in positive ways. So this was the kind of line work that was aggravating my hand injury. I still feel tighten up just a little bit, but nowhere near as bad as it used to be. So usually what I do is I now will stop, kind of stretch my hand out like that, the ligaments, tendons. I have a rubber ball that I bought. Right. Good to kind of change up the movements, right? So it's not just the same pressure over and over. And then I can get back into it. I did not have surgery, no. I just MRI, X-ray, what's it called? Ultrasound. So they figured out what it was. And it'll essentially heal on its own with PT. some of the things that they thought it could be that they ruled out with all those tests would have involved some sort of surgery or intervention. So I'm fortunate that it was just me overdoing it. Okay. But you can see sort of the texture and the gray value that I'm creating. And it's very loose. Right? And so that's going to have to go on all these surfaces all the way around, except for this glove. Okay. And so there are, like I said, sort of illuminated piping, like Tron-like piping, that will go around this desk that holds his equipment. And this will be white and with like splatter, fine toothbrush splatter to make it kind of glowing a bit. So that's the plan. And so now this is the tedious part of the stream where I'm basically just doing what I showed you. I like kind of how it turned out. So now I got to just fill in all these areas. And if I could just do the edges here, because that's some areas I have to be worried about. Keep it clean. See, like this mistake here, this line, I'm going to go with whiteout and kind of clean up that piping and then make it glow. So in my head, I know that's happening, so I'm cataloging, like, you know, I've mentioned this in previous streams. In my head, I'm going, okay, I got to come back here, do this, come back there, do that, clean up this, change that, blah, blah, blah. So there's a sort of a mental checklist that I'm creating as I create the art, things I need to revisit or fix later in a later stage. But right now, I don't want to because it's too premature and it won't work until I'm done with everything. Once you add whiteout, that's kind of like the final step. It's hard to go back in and put lines on top of the whiteout and have it look like light because you break that illusion. Better write it down, old man Mudfront. No, that's the fun of it. Can you imagine having to do that? That's crazy. That's like, to me, that's like I just do it without even thinking. I don't even know if I make an actual mental list. I just know it, you know, like it happens so quickly and it comes up so fast. It's prompted by the art I'm looking at. So even to this day, I will see pieces of art that I've done and go like, oh crap, that was on my list of things and I forgot. So you're probably right. I should make a list so I won't forget, but that seems like a lot of extra work. Okay. Okay, now I gotta do this. Now, to make it feel like more like metal, I'm gonna do this. Oh, that's a cheap looking screw. That was a mistake. I should have just done the single line screw. I'll fix it later. See what I just did there? I'll just walk you through the process. Okay, I'll fix it later. And even that little dit there, I gotta fix later too. I wonder if I can put some music on. I've got this song running through my head. It's Alanis Morissette that I heard the other day, and I can't get it out of my head. I'm not even a huge fan of this song, but it's in my head, so I'm going to see if I can pipe in. I go into Barry Manilow station, the Tupac channel. There we go. Even that's really old now. What happened to all their? Right, let's go here. Can you guys hear that? Good. You're gonna hear me start singing in a second. Great. I don't know why I didn't do this before. I can listen to music and talk at the same time. You know, I just realized maybe the reflection continues on the ground. All right, so here's his belt, here's his leg. Would it work like that? I don't think so. I don't know. I'll think about it. I can leave, like I like kind of how this transitions from black to like a light source, like a reflection on the ground on this whatever table. Can you see that? See how that looks? Correct, DJ Mittens, unless it's reflective. Right? I don't know. It's whatever we choose it to be. As long as it kind of makes sense. So let's try this. Let's see what happens if I leave this kind of open. I can always go in and fill it in, right? So there is a little bit of a, well, let's see what, like experimental aspect to creating art. Well, it's all experimental. Like if it doesn't look right, you wouldn't continue, right? So it's like, I have this idea, visual idea. Here's how I'm going to approximate it on paper. I put it down. Does it meet the expectation that I have in my head, the image, what the mind's eye has created? And if it doesn't, then I got to erase, redo, or pivot and come up with a better solution or modify it, right? Okay, we've got like 11 or 12 minutes left. So I'm not going to finish in this time. I don't know if I'm going to finish this later or next stream. I have to think about it. I might get inspired and just want to finish it and then start on the last one next stream. Like I said, I think it'll be a crowd pleaser, in terms of the last choice, right? And then I'll post all the remaining 3 sort of in short succession online, probably like 4 hours apart for each one. And that'll complete the 60 sketches that I started over a year ago. So it's pretty big. And then there's some other charities that I have kind of made a list. If there's one thing that I've learned during lockdown is that there's things I can do with my talent and support causes that are important to me, and I should be doing more of it. And that is one of the vows I made, I guess, during all this. And so I do want to follow up on that. Because we live in messed up times. That's all I know. It's gotten better, at least for me. I like kind of the calmness that's kind of replaced some of the turbulence that was just never ending. But just because there's silence doesn't mean that things are fixed. You wouldn't expect them to be. So, enough moralizing right there, but that's just kind of what's running through my head. Alberto, you should post all 60 sketches sometime. Yeah, you know what I'll probably do is when I'm done with the last 3 is I will put the last 3 up obviously on Instagram and eBay, and then while those auctions are live over the 3 days, I will post up probably batches of 20 each day or something like that, and with like liner notes, like maybe say like give like some behind the scene commentary over the pieces I've done. So you can say like, oh, that one, this was my favorite, so least favorite. I probably won't say that, but I'll probably say like, oh, this one, I liked how this turned out. I tried experimenting with this. This is when I was at my lowest, blah, 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 right? So sort of a recap with some liner notes, superhero song art, or things that used to come with albums. This is what music came. It came in a package in a thin, I don't know, like 15-inch by 15-inch sleeve. Inside was a vinyl disc, and on the disc were grooves that a needle would bounce on and detect little bumps and variations in the grooves, and they would convert those bumps and patterns into noise, music. It's very interesting. Yes, 12-inch. Okay. And then the albums would come like a little booklets or a full-size booklet, and they would have photos of the musicians, the credits, sometimes lyrics, and sometimes sort of behind the scenes, kind of what the DVD extras. They would vary from album to album, musician to musician, or act to act. So the Batarangs are here, so I'm going to go in with a brush and drop in some deep black shapes in there, like in the scallops and the divots. All right. I'm just listening to a Sirius channel. It is Classic Rewind. It's the Black Crowes, which I don't think really is classic rock, but somehow they've gotten thrown in here. Happens to the best of us. And the next song up is Boston. Now that is definitely classic rock. It takes me right back to like fifth grade. Peter Frampton, Boston, ELO, REO Speedwagon, Supertramp. Oh my gosh. DJ Mins. My dad listens to that channel. No offense. Well, you can't deny the power of demographics. That's why we dress the way we do, eat the foods that we do, talk the way we do, listen to what we do. We are not alone in this world. We are part of trends. We're individuals that cumulatively add up to demographics. Can't deny it. Journey, of course. I didn't wear any rock and roll t-shirts in high school. I went to a very stuffy prep school, so I wore a coat and tie every day. 7th grade till I graduated. All right, so as we get to the end of this, for those of you who are new to the stream, we usually go visit and raid someone else, another creative online. So while the mods pull that together, let's spend these last moments here thanking the mods. Like I said, the next stream will probably be next Sunday. And the goal is to, or next weekend, I've got to figure out exactly the date and time, but most likely the same Sunday time. And the goal is to either finish this or do the last sketch for the 60. But I'll be in Discord and we'll figure out. I saw there was some votes for like a draw along. I don't want to repeat myself and just, I want to keep this engaging for you and for me. And if that means, revisiting some oldies but goodies, like, where someone from the chat sends in some pencil work and I ink it on stream, you know what? We can do that because that's going to take some time. So why don't we do that now? While in the remaining time, I'm going to stop working so you guys can see what I've done. I'll post this in Discord so you sort of see the work in progress. See how it... yeah, interesting. Okay. All right, so thank you, Kirihiko, Mod Prime, and Crispy Egg Roll, who's not here. He's having lunch with his folks. So thank you guys. Really appreciate the mods and everything they do behind the scenes with the stream, certainly on Discord. And it'll be good to actually see them again sometime in real life soonish. All right, so let's go. We're going to go raid somebody. Oh, but before we're that, we're going to do a giveaway. This giveaway is for any of you guys that are aspiring artists that can actually pencil. I'm going to pick one person out of chat, and then you'll get contacted by a mod. You will mail your sketch 9x12 to a P.O. box address that you will be given. I will go pick up that artwork. I will then take it here, and I will stream inking it live, and you'll see me kind of maybe talk about your work, maybe make modifications or some changes. So for those of you who are aspiring artists, here's your opportunity to get some airtime, as it were, and get your work professionally inked. And then I mail the artwork back to you, and you get to own it and keep it and eBay it if you so wish. All right. Okay, so let's go to Nightbot. Where is Nightbot here? Woher bist du, Nightbot? Kommst du mit? Komm her. All right, I have to log in again to Nightbot. I did study like 8 years of German. It's a fantastic language. There's some words I just love, like selbstverstanden, no, selbstverständlich. Just words that just roll off the tongue. some super long words where they just kind of mash different words together to create the super long words. Very fun, interesting language, very complex as well. All right, so giveaways. Let's see. I think if those that you're interested, just type in, let's do a keyword. Let's do the keyword will be INKME, INKME, one word, all lowercase. All right. So if you type in the word, one word, INKME, you will be added now. Look, you don't have to be that great of an artist. We're just doing this for fun. So if I were you, I'd just do a stick figure. Really challenge me. The only thing you can't do is like a cover for your independent comic where I ink it, then you publish it. So you don't get the commercial rights to the piece. You can own the piece, but I do feel like I have to share that with you all. All right, I'm going to just wait till we get up to a reasonable number. We're in slow mode, so if you're frustrated, you typed it in, it hasn't showed up in chat. Just give it a couple minutes. Mud Frost Landscapes, sure. All right, here we go. Gonna roll. Good luck, everyone. So, Damn Jewel, following since May 4th, 2018. Congrats. All right, so one of the mods will be reaching out to you, Damn Jewel, and 9 by 12. This is 9 by 12, and send me that. And when I get it, we will fit it into the schedule and have some fun, and hopefully you can make sure that you can watch the stream or be involved as well. All right. Oh, Quick Draw 13 is back. What the heck? That was the shortest nap ever. All right, we're gonna go. We are now gonna go raid somebody, and if you could help me make the streamers afternoon and have some fun and just kind of share the love of art with someone else. Check it out. Load into the raid. We're gonna get like hopefully we'll get 650. Let's get it up to 700. Is that possible? 660. When do I hit this button? 666. 666. I gotta push the button now. Well, here we go.